Paul Heyman, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hi, Paul.
Hi.
Paul, I just want to let you know that we here at the Wendt and Billy Show are Paul Heyman guys.
Well, there's no accounting for taste, obviously.
So how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Very good. Very excited to have you on. Obviously on the WrestleMania media tour.
We'll get the big plug out right up in front. Paul Heyman with us. He's promoting, obviously, WrestleMania XXIX. It's going to be live on pay-per-view. Sunday, April 7th, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Well.
You like that? I can read, too.
I'm
How'd
very
I do,
impressed.
Paul?
I'm sorry, say it again?
How'd I do? My reading skills.
You're okay. I mean, nothing special, but, listen, it's morning.
That's
Yeah,
true.
absolutely. Paul, I mean, trying to wake us up right now is, you were the motivation, but otherwise we'd be sleeping in.
I don't blame you.
Go ahead.
So Paul, we were, just trying to do some backstory on you, and because you got a really interesting career when you're coming up. I mean, just judging off your Wikipedia page. And by the way, do you have any control over the picture for your Wikipedia page?
No, it sucks. I'll tell you a story. You know what? I'll tell you. You talk about an interesting story. That picture was taken in an airport.
Oh, it looks like someone got you at 3 a.m, as Punk would say.
4:45 in the morning on a Tuesday after a Raw. I don't sleep on Monday nights because I just can't. I'm too ramped up. So,
of course.
Had a 6 a.m. flight. Returned to rent a car by 4:30. Drudging through the airport at 4:45, because you have to check in by 5.
Yeah.
And could you sign this? Oh, sure. Oh, and then they're snapping pictures of you, and it's like, oh my God, well, at least it's only just for this person. Then it ends up as my main picture on Wikipedia.
It's like they take you at the worst
flattering picture imaginable.
Absolutely. I mean, you look like you're in a rush. You got to get out of there. You got places to go. Obviously, you're a busy man.
Yeah, could they follow me into the bathroom and count me to urinal?
Yeah, they could have gotten you zipped down or something, a little more candid.
It probably would have been a better picture. It's awful.
It was from your better side, right?
Only if you want to be impressed.
So, I was running down just looking at what it was giving me. I mean, age 11, you did the Tatum O'Neal thing from Bad News Bears. You're selling celebrity memorabilia out of your house. But then the most interesting I thought was age 19, promoter and producer for Studio 54.
Yes, yeah, I BS my way into there too.
And personally, I applaud you and look up to you for your BSing skills, because it seems like you got the BA in BS.
Well, thank you. I like that. The BA and B. I'm going to steal that and take credit for it.
Oh, hey, Paul, absolutely. I mean, if you're stealing from me, that's great.
Hey, listen, we all have our own hustles. Studio 54 is an interesting situation. I came in there just to take pictures of a bunch of the wrestlers there, and saw the opportunity that because their head photographer got fired the night that I was there, and I said, "Oh, I could do that job." "Oh, really? Can you?" "Yeah, I can." So I ended up doing it, and then they needed they fired their in-house publicist, and I said, "Hey, I could do that job too." "Oh, can you?" And "Oh, yeah, of course I can." And so I ended up with that job too, and then they were looking for a new producer / promoter for Friday night events, and I told them I could do that job. "Oh, can you?" And "Oh, yeah, of course I can." And I ended up doing that job. So listen, without initiative, you never get anywhere in life. And I had 19 years old. All I had was ambition and balls, bravado, and BS. And having a BA in BS, which is a line that I wrote myself for myself, I went for it.
I mean, and that says something, and that's what I think a lot of people lack out there. Getting into the cultural offshoot there, my commentary, but it obviously helped you out when coming into ECW with everything. You really go out of your way for both the product and the promotion aspect of everything, and I think you should be applauded for that. It's one of those things that I think if there's anything that you share with Vince McMahon, it would be something like that. You guys are you put the product first, and you want to put out the best product you can.
Well, thank you. I'm very I'm unable to do anything half-assed. It's just I can't. If I'm not passionate about it, I can't get into it, and I guarantee you I'll fail at it. So if I'm driven by it, if I'm passionate about it, I can make a good go for it, and I'll look for ways to make it work, and I will give everything I have to it because I am passionate about it, and I want to be involved in something that is memorable and has longevity to it and has and is of extraordinary quality. I don't want to be part of something that's just mediocre. I can't meander in mediocrity. I just can't do it. It's just not me. So I strive to be part of things that are different and extraordinary and memorable. And
is that what brought you back this time to WWE? Because obviously they didn't just bring you back to manage anybody. You obviously have history of Brock and Punk, so it's kind of like a passion project for you this time around.
You brought right into my segue, didn't you, sir? Boy, a greater straight man has never existed. Yeah, I'm a very fortunate man. I get to work with my two best friends, and we get two of the three main events at WrestleMania. Here's my job on Mondays. It's real simple for me. I show up and I get to sing the praises of CM Punk, the best. And he is the best. He is the most passionate, most driven performer in WWE of this generation, and he is going to lead this generation into changing the style and being a different style of superstar than you've ever seen before. And I truly believe in him. One of the reasons why I left in 2006 was because I believed in him and no one else did, and the frustration level got to be too great. I also get to go on TV and talk about the Beast because I have the best.
And he is no short of a beast.
Yeah,
he terrified me last Monday when I was watching. When he started smashing the sign with that chair, I was like, oh my God. And I was sitting at home. I'm like, wait a minute.
I had to curl up in the covers and get out of there.
You're a grown man on the couch watching television. You're terrified of a guy.
Brock, but see, that's Brock Lesnar. If you watch him on television, you have to be afraid he's going to come through that screen into your own living room. He is the most frighteningly physically gifted athlete in the history of WWE or UFC, in all of sports entertainment. There's no one like him. Listen, we can all embellish and hype up credentials. Hence why I have a BA in BS.
That is copyright Paul. That is copyright Paul Heyman at Heyman Hustle.
I thought of it one night at 3 a.m. while they were taking my picture for Wikipedia. But think about it. He's the only man to ever hold the NCAA Division I Heavyweight Championship, the undisputed UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world, and the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Championship. These are legitimate credentials of the man. He's 6'3". He's legitimately 300 pounds until he cuts weight for a match. And he can run the 100-yard dash and the quarter mile in Olympic qualifying times. So if you piss him off, you can't even run away from the guy.
Absolutely.
I get to sing his praises on Monday night. I get to show up on Monday and talk about my two best friends in the world, both of whom I believe in with all my heart. So, I'm a pretty fortunate guy.
And of course, there's the off chance you're going to get stabbed with a pen during a contract signing, which always tends to happen in my contract signings.
Yeah. That was a tense negotiation, I would say.
A little bit.
I don't see Donald Trump making those boardroom decisions anytime soon.
But then again, Donald Trump, look how many years he had to look at Ivana. So the guy is due a break,
He's been
I would rather get stabbed in the chest with a pen than have to procreate with a.
Oh well, of course. I think we can all take that route.
A pen to the chest as opposed to Ivana. Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Now, I brought up the Wikipedia thing because it was a topic that was recently on Reddit, on the Squared Circle subreddit there.
Well, you guys are into all these social platforms.
Well, you gotta get out there because you can't just be on the quote unquote dirt sheets at all time. You don't know what they're feeding you, unless you get it from the horse's mouth or right from the extreme Paul Heyman here.
Sure.
But also on Reddit, it just popped up. Within the last couple of weeks I had seen before we set up this interview, there was a video that I had never seen from a 95 Q&A with when you were doing ECW at the time, where you were predicting, and I thought it was interesting, you predicted the outcome, really, of the Monday Night Wars. What was the insight that you were really seeing there? You went off on quite a long diatribe on it, but you more or less, without going into the NWO, you pretty much saw that with WCW going up against, at the time, WWF, they were going to fall flat.
Well, yeah. And also the point is, I knew they'd come out of the gate with a huge expense account, and they would hit on some level, and at the end of the day, Vince McMahon would roll up his sleeves and outwork them into the ground. And plus, I also knew WCW was going to self-implode because I knew the people behind the scenes. You know, it's a very strange phenomenon, and I don't know. I don't know how much you've noticed this, but the thing that most people can't handle more than failure is success.
Oh, yeah.
And WCW was a victim of its own success because they got carried away with everything that success brings to them. Vince McMahon doesn't get carried away with success. Vince McMahon works harder than anybody else in that company. And I knew Eric Bischoff and Ted Turner, for that matter, going up against Vince McMahon was fait accompli, that they would have a brief blaze period of success, but at the end of the day, they couldn't handle the success, and they couldn't outwork Vince McMahon.
Well, I mean,
so,
obviously, and not to cut you off, but you know, Vince
but
was
you did
born
cut me off. But you did. But you did. And you hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry. Well, but I thought I wrote a line. I mean, you wrote a line earlier.
That's Billy cutting off Paul Heyman on the Mike and Billy show.
I'm backing away. Paul, it's back to you.
Get the pen, Mike.
No, go ahead. I'll get over it.
I mean,
it's
you know.
Okay.
Oh wow! I just cut
I've
off.
been cut off before. Go ahead.
By better.
By better, certainly by better. You know, but Vince was born and bred into the sideshow, if you want, the wrestling business. I mean, and then you have a guy like Bischoff and a guy like billionaire Ted getting in there, kind of just, I don't know, just wanting to throw their name in the hat out of boredom.
I don't know what their motivation was. All I can tell you is I knew the players behind the scenes, and I had worked with Vince McMahon, and I had worked with Eric Bischoff, and I knew Vince McMahon's father as well. So I mean, I knew the dynamics of the dogs in the fight, and it was pretty easy to predict which dog was going to be standing tall, or at least on its hind legs, and lifting up one leg to pee on the other one. At the end of that fight, you know, I knew it was going to be a tough fight, but I also knew, okay, here's what it's going to be, you know. Plus, I'm a descendant of Nostradamus. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh,
is that on my Wikipedia page?
I'll add it tonight. Don't worry. I'll change the picture too.
Please do. Please change the picture and add that I am a direct descendant of Nostradamus because I have a BA in BS,
yes.
Which is a line I wrote at 3 o'clock in the morning for myself and copyrighted and trademarked.
While that picture's being taken.
While my pictures are being taken.
At the urinal.
For Wikipedia. At the urinal at 4:45 in the morning in a freaking airport by somebody who probably couldn't sell that picture on eBay to begin with.
I didn't want to cut him off. I thought he was going to keep going, so I didn't want to.
We got to let it breathe for a minute.
I'm over it now.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm over it now. So you like any great moil or circumciser, now that you've done the cutoff, what's the byproduct?
It looks like I'm that byproduct.
You are that byproduct, Billy. Now, I want to ask you about because you've seen so many wrestlers come up, and before they became, you know, big names, if you will. Who are you looking at now as the future of the wrestling business?
CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, and I say that without embellishing. I mean, right now, take a look. We have 2 of the 3 main events at WrestleMania, and with damn good reason. CM Punk is truly the best. He is the best talker. He's the best wrestler. He is the most entertaining. He can entertain you on a small level. He can entertain an arena full of people. He can entertain 70,000 people live and 1 million people watching at home on WrestleMania. He is the future of this industry. Brock Lesnar is an athlete with no peers and no fears, and his accomplishments stand on their own, and he's not done accomplishing things yet. He's still hungry. He's still looking to do new things. So, you know, and again, Brock Lesnar's only 35 years old. You know, you're not talking about somebody who's, you know, at the tail end of his career. Brock Lesnar's also healthy for the first time in his life.
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, I mean, all the time that you have seen Brock Lesnar, he was battling diverticulitis for years and didn't know it for a long, long time. So this is the healthiest the man has ever been in his life. So truly what we're seeing is Brock Lesnar enter his physical peak. So imagine what he's capable of doing.
That's a terrifying thought.
It is.
Yeah.
Those,
I mean, it'd be like if Tiger Woods came out today and they said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you've only seen this man play at 50% because we did not realize he's been battling this disease for so long." Or the same with Mike. Imagine if Michael Jordan could come back today with all that he's accomplished, and they say, "Ladies and gentlemen, we just realized he's only been playing on one leg."
Right.
Well, that's what it's been like with Brock Lesnar. So much of his body was so much of his energy, so much of his strength was being used to fight off that disease, and now that he doesn't have to fight it off, you get to see him at his full physical peak.
Which, of course, as Mike said, is frightening to imagine. I mean, but it's great because I think he's an excellent performer in there, and he's believable. That's the best part about Brock, is that he's believable. It's what you see is what you get, as you've pointed out.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I could just tell you, just the way that he's looking at the future and the way CM Punk's looking at the future, I'm banking on the right two guys.
Well, it certainly looks that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And Paul, by the way, I mean, you talk up such a great game. If you're ever looking for another client, I'd love to throw my name out there. I need a manager for something. I don't know what, but if you could just say some kind words for me every now and then.
To whom? And who would believe me?
Well, I think people would believe you. It's just a matter of...
Because, you know why they'd believe me?
Why's that?
Because I have a BA.
There you go.
Yes.
BS. Which is a line I wrote for myself.
Of course it is. At 3 o'clock in the morning in a bathroom at an airport while your picture was being taken for an eBay sale.
You've heard that story?
I've heard it once or twice. I believe I read it also on Wikipedia.
And I think it was on Reddit just yesterday.
And that's a fine place for it to be, by the way.
Well, Paul, thank you once again for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. And let's see the big promo. WrestleMania 29 live on pay-per-view Sunday, April 7th from MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Of course, Paul is involved in 2 out of the 3 big main events at the show. CM Punk taking on The Undertaker. Will he beat the streak, Paul?
Absolutely.
He's the 1 in 21.
And Brock Lesnar taking on Triple H in a no-holds-barred battle for Triple H's career.
It's going to be great.
And I think it's only fitting that Triple H ends his career against a man like Brock Lesnar. There's no shame in losing to Brock Lesnar, and I hope that you will all join me in thanking Triple H for his many in-ring contributions to the WWE Universe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I want to welcome him, by the way. I want to be the first one. I want to nominate Triple H to the 2014 Hall of Fame.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
I think we can agree with that. There's
ballot,
no BS there.
First ballot Hall of Famer. What a great
Absolutely.
career he's had.
No shame in that at all.
I
Paul.
applaud him, and I wish him well in his future endeavors.
Very good. Very, very good. And absolutely, I got to throw it out there. Next time you're in Boston, come on into the show. You got an open mic with us, Paul.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Paul Heyman on the Mike and Billy Show.
Thank you, Paul.